Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Sam from Historic Travels and welcome to another video. Okay guys, so hey, as I'm sure some of you may have noticed, I am not currently within my studio. This is because I am currently taking a short vacation down to Florida. And while I was down here, guys, I decided yesterday that I wanted to go and pay another visit to the Titanic Museum located within Orlando, Florida. And I did tour this museum before a couple of years ago, and I did make a review video about the museum, link for that in the description below. But to briefly summarize that video, this museum is incredible. You have to go and see it. And they have real artifacts from the Titanic on display there. And guys, what makes this museum unique is it's the way they go about telling the Titanic story that I think is really cool. Because as you go through the museum, you're basically walking through the complete Titanic timeline. And what I mean by that is when you start off your tour, you start off at the beginning of the Titanic's life. So you're within a recreation of the shipyard of Harland & Wolff in Belfast, Ireland. You can see the Titanic being built and everything. And then as you walk through the museum, well, the next part of the timeline you enter is while the Titanic is at sea. And you see, elements from within the ship, one of the ship's restaurants and stuff. And then as you continue going on, you eventually get to the sinking of the Titanic and you get the idea. And what they do with the artifacts they have, the real Titanic artifacts, I think that is also incredibly cool and unique. Because the way they place them in the part of the museum that best represents that particular part of the Titanic's timeline. So when you're in the shipyard of Harland & Wolff, you'll see artifacts that represent when the ship was being built. When you're in a part of the exhibit where the Titanic is at sea in the timeline, you'll see artifacts that represent that. And then when you get to the sinking, you'll see things that represent the sinking. I mean, you get the idea. So this is a really quick and really brief summary of the museum. Please watch the review video if you want to have a more detailed look at everything. I'm just going over it real quick. But the ultimate reason why I wanted to go and see the museum was, because it had been a few years since I had been there. And I wanted to see all the really cool artifacts again. And I was also curious to see if anything had changed, and you never know, like there may be a really cool artifact there that I missed and I didn't see before. Maybe they updated something. That would be cool to see. And boy, let me tell you guys, I was pleasantly surprised by two things that I saw at the museum. Well, to start off with, most of the museum was exactly the same. The way they did the timeline and the placement of the artifacts, that really hadn't changed. But there was one really cool artifact that I guess I never knew it existed. I don't know how I didn't know about it. And it was in the museum the last time I was there. I just missed it. But guys, they actually have an unopened bottle of champagne that was recovered from the wreck of the Titanic on display within the museum. When I saw that, my mind was blown. And there was a guy who worked at the museum and he was telling me about it and I kind of nerded out in front of him. It's a little embarrassing. But I'm like, there is no way. How on earth could a bottle of champagne survive intact? I mean, guys, the champagne was literally still in the bottle. And when he told me that and I saw it, the cork was still at the top of the bottle. I'm like, how on earth could this have survived? And somehow it did. And the guy also told me that when they recovered this bottle, there were actually two champagne bottles. And the researchers at the recovery expedition, they actually tried one of them. And they said it was the saltiest thing that they had ever tasted in their life. I can't believe they did that. But yeah, the other really big surprise that I got while I was going through there was, you see, there's a part of the museum when you reach the sinking part of the exhibit where it portrays being on the Titanic's A-deck promenade. Now, originally when I was there, it was just like a really dark room and, they had some lights and stuff to try to simulate water a little bit, like you're looking out from the Titanic's promenade into like a big black ocean. But they had completely changed that when I got there. And you see, when I walked into that room, they had like a projector playing an animation on the wall outside of the A-deck promenade. And when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, I can see the ocean. I can see lights of a ship in the distance, which I figured was the Californian. But the closer I looked at it, I'm like, wait a second. This looks incredibly familiar. Believe it or not, guys, it was a custom-made animation from Titanic Honor and Glory. You know their real-time sinking video that, you know, everybody's seen now? Well, they made a custom version of it from the perspective of being on that promenade where you can look out at sea, and like when you look over the side, you can see parts of the Titanic going down like away from you and everything. And I mean, it was so cool. And anyway, as soon as I left the museum, I emailed my friend over at Titanic Honor and Glory just to confirm that that was really what it was. And he said, yes, we partnered with them. And I'm like, that is so cool. But yeah, I did this whole video in one take. But guys, the museum is awesome. I highly encourage you to go. The artifacts that they have there are absolutely incredible, and the staff there is really cool. I met a lot of really cool people when I was there, and everybody I talked to yesterday, if you saw me, you know, thanks for, you know, talking to me and telling me about the museum. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, anyway, guys, as I said, if you want to watch a full review video from that museum, link for that video in the description below. And if you are in the Orlando, Florida area and you're interested in Titanic, you have to go and see that museum. It is absolutely incredible. All right, everybody. Well, hey, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Wow, I literally did this entire video in one take. Holy crap. Oh, and I also bought this really cool Kobe. It's like a Lego Titanic model thing. It's like, it is Lego, but it's a Lego off-brand. But yeah, they've got this Titanic thing. They had it at the museum gift shop. I thought it was cool. So yeah, I'm currently working on it. And this is what I got so far. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'll be home in the next couple of days, and then channel activity will return to normal. And before you ask, yes, Queen Mary is coming very soon. See ya.